Sports Stars Magazine here with La Mirada senior standout Julien Gomez. Put on an absolute exhibition in the second half to lead the Matadores to a 73-59 victory against Brophy Prep from Arizona. 34 points, 25 in the second half, 15 in the third quarter when Gene went to the bench. Is that just kind of like one of those things where you and Castro and the rest of the guys just kind of have a sense of urgency because it's like we got to find offensive production somewhere, or did you feel like it happened just naturally in the flow? Because I didn't think you were forcing anything.
Yeah, so I think it's a combination of both. To be honest with you, I get a lot of points just naturally, just running transition, and my guys just finding me after getting paint touches. But also when Gene goes down, or he's over there. But anyway, when Gene goes to the bench, my coach runs plays for me to get to the basket to score. So I'd say it's a combination of both.
Most definitely. And then you punctuated it with that friendly bounce at the end of the third quarter to that three-pointer that came right back. With a 3 and the 2 at the start of the fourth quarter. I mean, just like how locked in and just like how in flow and in rhythm did you feel in the second half?
Man, what you said, I was just in the flow. To be honest, I wasn't even thinking. I was just out there just.
Because when I said 34, you kind of like. It didn't even. I mean, a lot of times that's volume or people going to the free throw line a lot. You look at it and it was just like that's kind of Julien doing his thing.
Yeah, you know what? I should be getting that since my freshman year. There's one story. My coach, he was coaching me one of my first games freshman year, and at the end of the game, I thought I was going to score like 10 points, maybe 8 points. Looked at the stat sheet at the end of the game, it had like 24, and my coach said, "Wow, man! Like when you score, it's really silent, and it's because you get buckets in transition and in the flow. There's nothing like out of place, it's really in the flow of the game,
Most definitely. Well, but the fact that all the rest of you guys on the court, I mean, you guys have become accustomed, and it was even the case last year.
Yes.
Everybody's going to focus so much of their attention on on Gene, like whether he has the ball or not.
Yes.
So how have you seen that continue to evolve this year, where now people have film on him and they have film on the group because I mean, outside of 2 games against up until Monday night, what was the #1 team in California, Bosco, and then obviously against Bashan, I mean, like those are the only losses, right?
Yes.
Two #1 teams in any state. I mean, but how has that kind of evolved this year when people are paying even more attention to him? Because I felt like in the first half of the year he kind of snuck up on some people last year because it's like, oh, it's a freshman, like what are we going to expect from him? And then he goes out and drops 25, 30, 35 or whatever, and it's like, oh, they learn pretty quickly. But this year with people kind of understanding more of what he might bring, like, do you feel like that's benefited you and the rest of the group?
Yeah, no, most definitely. I think it's definitely benefited us playing these top teams out on the road, really prepare for our league, and really just help us in the long run when it comes to playoffs. Yeah.
Most definitely. The fact that you guys are so battle tested, Julien, I mean, especially coming to a tournament like this, it's 3 in, 3 out, right? Like, yes. Having played Bosco twice and Bashan and the rest of the high quality schedule, is it like you guys come into a situation like this and it's like we've already played some of the top teams in the country, there doesn't need to be any intimidation here?
I see where you're coming from, but every game we go in and we know that we could lose on any given night, so we come in really locked in and focus on our opponent. We don't really take them for granted, even though we played those big top dogs out on the road. We just really take every team serious we play. We take nothing for granted. No, absolutely. Yeah, there's always a huge level of respect for your program. Yes, yeah.
In terms of first half of the second half, was there anything that Coach Ornos or the coaching staff really kind of impressed upon you guys that you needed to kind of turn it in your favor in the second half?
When we got to the locker room, Coach Randy was just honest for our rebounding and our energy. We just looked kind of sloppy out there. We weren't defending that much. We were fouling, and we just weren't getting boards. And when we get boards, we're able to go on runs and score, and we just weren't doing that. So I think that speech in halftime really light a fire under our asses to really get after in the second.
Well, it was 41 all in the third, and then that fire certainly took over again. 25 points in the second half, 34 overall, 73-59. Wow. On to the semifinals in the Saguaro Bracket here at Skyline High School. Julien, great job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.